Live from Dallas-Fort Worth, this is WFAA News.
We're taking a look outside right now as that Arctic air is back. Taking this look over downtown Dallas, the Arctic air, oh, I know you can feel it. We're hovering around freezing right now at 11 a.m. while other parts of Texas brace for multiple inches of snow. Schools and airports in Houston are about to shut down. Thank you so much for joining us this midday. I'm Cleo Green. Now we do continue to stream presidential inauguration events on our WFAA Plus app throughout the day, but we do want to get you some updated information on dangerous cold weather here in North Texas and across the state. It is a WFAA weather alert day, and we now have one declared for tomorrow as well. So let's talk weather. Let's get to meteorologist Greg Fields.
Yeah, let's talk about those temperatures out there, Cleo. It has been quite cold this morning. That's why we had the weather alert day for those frigid wind chills and temperatures well down into the 20s and upper teens here this morning. Trying to warm up, but not a whole lot. We're still several degrees below freezing, taking you out to DFW Airport, only in the upper 20s now, 27 degrees. That wind chill feels like it's 17 there. We'll have the clouds that have thickened up a little bit. Those higher mid-level clouds. Can't rule out a flurry or two, but most of that we've seen won't be reaching the ground. That's not going to be a big problem for us at all, but we'll talk more about that here in just a moment. 28 getting out to Love Field, the wind chill there of 20. So no weather-related delays. It's just cold out there for us, but we are going to keep it dry. Upper 20s all around along the Red River, Sherman and Gainesville, heading out to Waxahachie, 30 heading over to Athens, and 28 here as we get out to Terrell and Canton. So it is very cold, factoring in those winds that are going to be out of the east and northeast. That's going to add a little extra chill to the air, but much lighter with those winds out there today. But we're only going to get into the upper 30s today. Fort Worth around 37, maybe 38 coming over to Dallas, and we'll be struggling to get much above freezing along the Red River here for today. Heading up towards Sherman and Gainesville, only around 33 as we go through the afternoon hours today. Maybe a little bit closer to 40, a little farther south. But we're going to have the mostly cloudy skies, and farther south, that's where we're going to have to worry about the snow chances as we head into tonight. Now for us, it's going to be cold, mainly dry. Again, as we head into tonight, nothing more than a few flurries around our area here late tonight. Some very light snow, but we'll still be in the low mid 20s. So again, it is going to be very cold as we head into tonight and early tomorrow. And we're looking at those wind chills, once again, going to be down in the lower teens for tomorrow morning. So that's, again, why we're calling it for another weather alert day for tomorrow, because of those wind chills down in the lower teens, maybe even dipping close to the single digits in a few places as we head into tomorrow. So Fort Worth is going to feel like it's around 12 above, 13 there, heading over to Dallas. And you see 10 with that wind chill, 10 above as you get out toward Decatur for tomorrow morning. So another seriously cold morning out there for tomorrow. So again, we are talking about a weather alert day through the morning hours tomorrow. The temperatures in the lower teens and 20s, and those wind chills in the teens, maybe even the single digits, at least close to it for tomorrow morning. So you'll definitely need to do the 4 Ps, protect those. We've been talking about that the past couple of days. So hopefully you've already done that, and we're dressing in layers again for your Tuesday out there. So yes, it is going to be a cold one out there. Now, as far as that snow potential, we know it's going to be cold for us. We are looking at some very light snow, perhaps across our area in the form of flurries. Very light snow across our area. The hazard is cold. That's going to be the main concern for us. But we are talking about a dusting maybe across the area here, accumulation little to none for us. Now, as you get a little farther south, once we get south of the Metroplex, south of I-20, heading down I-35, I-45, that's when we'll begin to talk about some issues out there on the roads. Now, we could see upwards of an inch, maybe an inch and a half in our far southeastern counties, getting down into central Texas, maybe approaching 2 inches with locally higher amounts a little farther south. So that's where we're going to have a real winter storm to deal with in those areas south. But for us, it's going to be a very dry snow, so that's going to not cause too much of a problem on the roads either. So that's some good news for us. We're not anticipating much, if any, impact at all here across North Texas. And in fact, you see our temperatures will start to warm back up as well. By Wednesday, we're going to be back close to 50 and the upper 50s there by Friday. So let's talk more about the winter storm that will be coming to areas south of Dallas and Fort Worth, heading down I-35, I-45. Already starting to see some of that precip down into South Texas take shape, and that will continue to be the case as we go through the rest of today. Look at the winter storm warnings. Houston, Galveston, down to Corpus Christi into South Texas and along the Gulf Coast, all the way over toward the Florida Panhandle. Looking at that winter storm warning that is in effect, and the winter weather advisories a little farther south once we get south of Dallas and Fort Worth. So as you look at the timecast, Heading into this evening and tonight, this is around midnight tonight. Look at the snow that really develops down around Houston over toward Austin. We're talking about several inches of snow in these areas, and that continues overnight. It will get a little heavier overnight and continue stretching all the way along the Gulf Coast as we go through the day on Tuesday. So that's why we do have those winter storm warnings in effect. And you see, as we come into North Texas, we're not going to see much of any of this at all. So we don't anticipate any problems as far as travel is concerned across here. Again, nothing more than some very light snow and a few flurries there for us. So here's that 14-day forecast. Again, it's going to be another weather alert day there for tomorrow with those frigid temperatures. Coverage with any snow for us only going to be about 20% or so. Now, as we head into a Wednesday, we'll start to break out into a little more sunshine. Those temperatures Wednesday morning still going to be cold. We'll still be down in the low 20s, but then we'll bounce back close to 50, low 50s there on Thursday, and then we're looking at some upper 50s as we wrap up the week. Now, heading into the weekend, next weekend, we're looking at some low 60s briefly across the area before we start to cool down once again, and we'll have some rain chances out there as well in the second half of that 14-day forecast, with those temperatures pretty seasonable for us. As we look at the second part of the 14-day, we'll have highs in the mid to upper 50s, and you see those low and rain chances back as we get into next week too. All right, let's get up at the station now, checking on traffic.
Okay, thanks, Greg. Well, with the holiday, it has not been a bad day so far. Taking a live look at things at 11 a.m., right around 11:30 this morning. It's been light across the Metroplex. Watching I-35E just south of downtown Dallas at Colorado, things look good. High five, similar situation. So kind of honestly, looks maybe like a Saturday morning, just with people off because of the holiday. Has not been a bad situation out there at all as far as your morning commute. Over in Tarrant County, seeing a little bit more traffic this morning along I-35W Basswood. This has been a busy area as they've been working around this for the past several weeks. 820 looking good this morning, and I think with your evening commute, this trend will continue throughout the afternoon. I think that you should see less traffic through the afternoon and as we move into the evening. So let's go ahead and take a look at as far as the roadways and what we're keeping an eye on, because obviously our coverage expands beyond just North Texas. We'll be watching the Metroplex there in the Houston area and East Texas, and then also just Central Texas and south of that, basically all the way from Dallas to Austin, keeping a close eye on that. So those roads that we want to watch, and we'll let you know if there are any closures across the state on your major highways or interstates in the Houston area, East Texas, including I-10, I-45. I-69 as well as US 59 and Loop 610. That is a busy loop. Also in the Central Texas area, Waco down through Austin, I-35, of course, a major thoroughfare connecting those cities. Highway 6, Loop 40, US 290, very busy highway that goes just north of Austin, and US 281 that a lot of people use instead of I-35, trying to avoid some of that traffic. Meanwhile, back here at home, we are getting ready for some construction that's going to happen nightly along US 75. It's going to affect 75 and the Plano and Allen area. You can expect nightly lane closures there. So that is going on through Friday. And as I mentioned before, Cleo, we're going to be keeping a close eye on your major interstates and thoroughfares across the state as this system moves in.
All right, Stacia, thank you. As Greg and Stacia mentioned, while we're just getting the cold here, people to our south, they are bracing for snow, and it's going to impact travel plans around the state this week. Our Tiffany Liou reports on that.
Yeah, the whole state is dealing with an Arctic blast right now, and even though it is freezing here in Dallas, trust me, it is cold. The rest of the state of Texas is dealing with a whole lot worse. Down in Houston, starting at midnight, both airports will be closed. That'll be 799 flights canceled tomorrow out of Bush and 257 canceled out of Hobby. Even today, there are already a few dozen cancellations. So if you plan to travel to Houston, you'll want to reschedule your flights. At this point, airport officials will monitor the conditions through Tuesday and then determine if they're going to reopen on Wednesday. Employees, of course, will be at the airports around the clock to de-ice. If you have family or friends down in Houston or anywhere around Southeast Texas, you can expect a lot of schools and businesses to be closed in the coming days. In Austin and Central Texas, they're also expecting some snow and sleet tonight through tomorrow, and then freezing temperatures through Friday. The area has activated its emergency operations centers. Residents throughout Texas, even here, should really be making sure your pipes are protected. Open up those cabinets under the sinks to keep the pipes warm, drip your indoor faucets, and cover your outside spigots too. You always want to remember the 4 Ps in this weather: people, pets, plants, and pipes. And that'll help you easily remember your priorities during this winter weather. Back to you.
Tiffany, thank you. And warming shelters are open at Dallas Fair Park, Austin Street Center, and are calling. They are making sure people who are homeless, displaced right now, are taken care of. To get people to Fair Park, they are offering a bus at designated pickup points. Outreach teams, they are also driving under bridges and in wooded areas to bring people to a shelter, a warm place to stay. The center at Fair Park will be open 24/7 as long as the weather stays dangerously cold.
During these freezing temperatures, there are a lot of people suffering. There are people who get frostbite. There are people who don't make it through the cold nights alive. It's important for us to provide life-saving care, but really we're doing so much more than that. We're helping people get out of their homeless circumstance. And
find a full list of warming centers on our website, right on our homepage to get that information. Today also is MLK Day, and today's freeze has forced some changes. The Greater Fort Worth MLK Day Parade, that has now been pushed back to February 17th, while the Collin County Parade in Plano has been postponed until February 22nd. Please stay with us throughout the day for the latest on this Texas deep freeze. Our weather team will have live updates on the weather here at home and around the state throughout the week here on WFAA+.